Welcome back. This is Stage 3 London Classic Reverse. Now, I haven't ran this race in a while. Now, I did do the London Classic. I think we did that last month on the stage, but this is the London Classic Reverse. And this is a race that is a mostly flat race. Outside of the intro lap coming into this race, this is a mostly flat race. And I was excited to do this one. And I did not know before I did this race what the power-ups were. I was thinking it was an arrow, and I thought it would probably be an arrow and a draft. For me, it was that, but I only ended up getting draft power-ups on this race, so that made me come up with a different strategy. A strategy that I got from, I want to say, Rough Rides. He gave me an idea about using the draft power-up, because I was asking in that video, hey, how do you use the draft? And he suggested that I use it on short hills or maybe at the end to save a little power. And hey, man, I used it in a special way this time, Rough Rides, and you'll see how I used it. So with that being said, I want to ask that y'all like and subscribe to my materials. Help me try to get this video up to 100 likes. If you like what I'm doing with my stuff now, I'm trying to get it looking kind of more nicer, you know, giving it more of a production feel. Hey, look, it's only me. I'm using my head. I'm having a little bit of fun. So if you like my videos, you like what I'm doing, leave me a like, man. Come on, I'm trying to get up to 100 likes. And if you also like it, leave me a subscribe. If you haven't subscribed before, I'm trying to get my video up to 300. I'm trying to get my subscribers up to 300 by the end of May. We got 2 weeks left, and I'm gonna try to do some more of these videos. It look like people really don't like the tiny races. I may still do them, but if I can skip the tiny races and do 2 or 3 stage races on Saturday, I think that may benefit my videos more, and I can just make a nice long stage race video to end the week out. I think I may do that. So y'all leave in comments what y'all like to see. And also, if y'all have any other race classics that you want to see me do, I'll try those. Leave those in the comments. With that, you know I don't like my intros being super long. So we're gonna go ahead and get in this race, and we're gonna talk about what's going on. With that, let's go. And we're off. And as we take off on this race, I leave out in this race with the idea that I'm not knowing I know the London Classic that we're doing, but the London Classic Reverse, I know I've ran it. So I know with the London Classic Reverse that the end of the race, about the last kilometer and a half, is red. And that's that carpet where it's only got about a 1.5% to 2% climb, and then it's only short. So as we come through here, we're riding. And when we're riding in this race, there's a climb at the beginning of, but that climb is only for the beginning of this race. The rest of this race is mostly flat. So once you get through that, you're gonna see me get out in front because we're gonna go downhill. If you look at my map, I can tell when we get ready to go downhill. So I kind of back off and kind of just let my weight do the work for me. And you'll see me lead out a little bit. But what I'm trying to do this whole race, and this is pivotal, since I know this is a flat race and I know it doesn't hurt me as much to put out the power and just sit back and just let my weight do a lot of racing when we come down on these little slight declines, because there's really not a lot of inclines. So mostly it's flat and a little bit of incline and a little bit of decline. What I was trying to do, my whole goal with this race was to keep this thing for British numbers. I was trying to keep this thing about 40 to 41 kilometers the whole race. We would dip down into the 35, 36, somewhere in there. But for the most part, I wanted this thing to stay at about 42, 41, 42 kilometers, which is for me in American, it's about 25, 26 or 27 miles an hour. I was trying to, I'm gonna tell you why I did. I knew I had the endurance to do it. So the endurance part wasn't the power, plus the power factor. If you watch Swift Power Network, which I will try to put his comments in the description of the video so y'all can watch it, he had something on weight. And he talked about the weight factor, how Swift balanced my power and my weight. They balanced my power more than my weight on flat grounds. So I knew that was gonna help me to stay at a certain speed, that I wasn't gonna have to work too hard because it was flat. And as long as I kept a crowd around me, it wasn't gonna be too much. So what my goal was to keep this thing at about 42 miles an hour, 42 kilometers an hour, which is 25 miles, 26 miles an hour for us. And the reason for that was, it does me no benefit to let everybody else rest on this thing. It does not at the end of this race. It counts nothing. Now you see they get out front, but only because we had that little climb. Once we get out of those climbs, we don't have that 5 or 6% climb no more. So that once that was gone out that introductory lap, which I realized on the second lap, once that was gone, there was nothing. This is where we get this little climb at, and then we got the dip, and then we get back up here and we get back into the race. I knew that there was no way nobody was going to stop me from keeping the pack slow down. So what I tried to do now, the only thing I did wrong, I think, and y'all will see that on the second lap. Now, once we go to the tarmac, we're going to come around here. You're going to see what happens. Now, I did two things wrong that I really need to fix on this next time I run this. This race will get ran about 4 or 5 times. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm leaving today because I'm off Friday, so I know I'll be back Thursday. I'm probably going to run it Thursday, Friday. And if I don't get a lot of views on my tiny races, I'm probably going to run 2 or 3 of them on Saturday. So right here on the tournament, this is the first lap, so y'all can see this. This is the first lap. Look at my weight balance. Even though I'm putting out a lot, because I'm not going crazy, it stays up. Now look at me, I'm 39, 40, I'm at 40 kilometers. I'm trying to keep the whole goal. Now look at everybody's heart rate who's close to me. Their heart rates are lower. So what I'm trying to do is trying to keep it up like this so that when we come around on the second lap, I can see if their heart rate moves up. If their heart rates are moving up, that means they're starting to get tired. And I know that I may be a little tired, but I'm not. Look at my heart rate, 139. I'm with everybody else, but look at people in front of me and riding with me. Some of those are starting to move up kind. So we're at the first race. Now, what I did not know on this race was what the powers I was going to be getting. I did not look ahead to check it out. And so that's my fault. That's truly my fault. So as we come around on here, you notice that it's a negative, and we come around, we make this turn right here, and I'm thinking to myself, we got one more turn. When we make this next turn, we're gonna make a left. And no, this is the last lap. This is the final stretch. I put on my draft right here at the beginning of that turn, and I wanted to see how far did that draft take me. So when I did it, I was like, okay, it seems okay, but I wasn't sure. I think I ended up getting 2 or 3 drafts off this thing. It may not have been that lap, but I know I got the draft. I got the draft right down for that one, right there. So when we come back around here, now, what I decided to do was not to use my draft anywhere else. The only place I was going to use my draft is when we make that turn to come down that final stretch. That's where I was going to use my draft. Now, I used too much. This is where I made one mistake. You see how they out in front of me? I kept using power. Look at my wattage I'm using to try to catch up to them. I shouldn't have did that. I should have just let myself naturally catch. I would have caught up with them because this is a flat race. You see how everybody else catch up me? I shouldn't have powered into that. I used an extra little power that I shouldn't have used. I gotta conserve as much as I can because I'm trying to keep this thing. Look at the speed of this thing. 41, 42 kilometers. It's almost a sprint. So what I'm trying to do is keep this thing high the whole race. I do not want this thing getting down into 35, 34. No, I want this thing to stay at 40 the whole race out. Because, like I say, the whole reason for that is if I allow them to rest at the end, rest during the middle of the race, they're going to be powerful enough to double number, get the red line numbers at the end of this race. And like I said, rough riders gave me an idea about how to use the draft power up. And I didn't know, I'm saying, well, when we go through here on this next one, if we get the draft power up again, I know how to use it. So what we're doing, we're riding around here, we're riding on this right here, and we got a slight incline right here, but it's not high. And then we go back into a decline. Look at the decline. So I'm riding with them. I'm keeping this thing, we're at 46, 47. I'm trying to keep this thing pretty high. That's my whole goal. My whole goal right here, we're over halfway through the race. We have one more lap left, and we get ready to come back up on the red tarmac again. Now, when we get to the red tarmac, I'm gonna show you what I'm trying to do on this last lap. And it's very important what I'm trying to do with this last lap, because what it's gonna do, it's gonna take, if I get the draft from the next race, I know how to use it. So we come back on this red tarmac. So what we're gonna do, we're getting close to this is the second lap now. So we're getting close to where the flag at. Now we get right here, look at my speed. It's still at about 40 kilometers. I'm keeping this thing at 25, 26 miles an hour. I have no choice. And so what I'm thinking to myself is, I gotta keep, now we slow down right here a little bit, and I got caught looking at I think I was looking at my screen or something. I got caught off just for a moment, but I know I have to focus in. We're gonna make a right, and then we're gonna make a left into the last lap. And when we make that left into the last lap, that's where I'm gonna use my power up. I'm gonna show you where. And it's very essential that I show you this so you can understand what I'm talking about. Because this is where it kind of made sense for me to do this. So I pull out in front, I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool, I need a little speed on this. I want to try, so I'm trying something in my head that's gonna help me out. So when we get right here, we're gonna turn, and I use my draft right here. And I use the draft power up because now look at my power up numbers. I want to see what happens. Now look at my speed. and see him jump in front of me, and it jumps up to 150, and we're riding now. We're not going full blower, but I know, okay, cool, this might work out. So you see how they kind of pulling me along at the end of this thing? So what I was thinking to my head, and the Rough Rider said, use on small hills, but what I was thinking to myself on this last lap was, when we come and make that turn on the last lap, I'm gonna power into this thing really hard. It's gonna be about 450 meters. I noticed that the draft power up lasts almost the whole way through. So I have that the whole way through this race. And what I'm gonna do is put as much power as I can. And I know they're gonna come, some of the faster guys gonna come past me. But what my hopes are is they drag me a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. If I can get through this last one, what I want them to do is drag me through the end of the line. Whoever comes past me, and maybe I can kind of back slingshot off of them. So that's what I'm thinking in my head, because I know I can't hit them super high power numbers. I can hit high power numbers, but not enough to redline. Because of my weight, I can't redline my numbers right now. As I lose weight, I will be able to do it, but as of right now, I cannot. So my goal is right now, I'm thinking I got this thing, I'm working the math out, I got this thing working clearly in my head, how we gonna do this. So I'm standing in front of the pack, look at this. This is the only time it slows down. I got this thing back, you know, since they tried to slow it down, I had to get it back up to 40, 41, 42 kilometers. So we come over this hill, and now what I do is, I'm forcing them to, first of all, try to expend any little extra energy they got, because it doesn't hurt me to stay that high. Look at my heart rate, 153, I am fine. So what I'm trying to do is get them to expand some of their extra energy trying to keep up with me. So that's my whole goal. So right now we're running almost 30 miles an hour. So, you know, look at that, 45 kilometers. I'm trying to just keep this thing up there. That's the only strategy to this, especially with a whole bunch of guys. And like I say, this is European afternoon, so a lot of they good guys are riding right. Now look at my weight balance, because it shouldn't be going down, but I'm pushing. So my weight balance is kind of going down. It's trying to now. Right here, he gets in front of me. Now, we at the tarmac now. And here go why this is this winning strategy I came up with. And I just thought about this and I said, okay, cool. Now at 1,000 meters out, you'll see, you look at the top, you'll see me get 1,000 meters out. At 1,000 meters out, my whole goal right here in this race is to get me at about 95%. I want to hit that turn at about 95%. And when we cross that sprint line, I want to be doing outboard as much as I can. So as we're right here at about almost a kilometer left. We 1.2, as we turn right here, we're coming down to close to the end of this race. We're gonna make a right, and then we're gonna make a left. At about 450 meters away, I'm gonna hit my draft power up, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. As we come down to it, I'm riding, I'm thinking to myself, look at the speed. I got our speed up to about 30 miles an hour, which is 45 kilometers. We're rolling. You gotta understand, we're rolling, so I'm looking at the heart rates, look at everybody next to me. Behind, I'm at 59, so I'm starting to get close to me, but a lot of them behind me are 58, 190, 176, 165. So I know these are lighter guys, so they can hit higher numbers, but when we come around now, we're at 400, I hit it right here. So what I'm doing, look at my numbers, 1,100, 1,200. So what I'm thinking about is, whoever comes past me, watch my draft numbers, watch the draft numbers, watch what's happening. This all I'm thinking about, watch you get in front of me, watch my draft numbers, bam. 400 draft right there. So I'm figuring I'm almost at 1,500. I don't know where I'm at exactly. Now I'm thinking I passed him right at the last moment because I came in second. Man, that was a nice war-winning strategy. I thought I probably should have came in fourth, but I'm not sure. But with that being said, I want to thank y'all for watching my video. If you get any enjoyment out of it, leave me a like, subscribe, help me get up to 300, 100 likes. With that, ride on.